Yo, happy December 1st, 2021. I hope you had a great November, Misters and Misses, and are looking forward to killing it this December, last month of 2021, before we get into 2022. I hope you grind it out, do what you wanted to do this year, and look forward to next year. Because time moves fast, baby. I'm already 23 years old. It feels mad weird. Daria, my sister, who was a baby like yesterday and had soft cheeks and was squeaking and being cute, is almost freaking 13. She's almost gonna be a Fuku teen. Oh my god. Time's too fast, man. But I'm not old yet. I'm loving life right now. But without further ado, let's stop talking about this sappy stuff. Let's get right into what happened tonight. It's another nursing shift. A couple interesting things happened. We'll go over it. Without further ado, let's go. All right, so I show up to the hospital, swipe in, grab my computer on wheels, grab my papers to get report, start to look up patients, and then I do a double take to the side. And I noticed that all these nurses are starting to surround this other nurse and kind of causing a commotion. I look over and I'm like, okay. I'm just gonna stay here for now, get report, write down some stuff. But I noticed that they don't start to go away, and then all of a sudden security starts to come up. So at that point I leave my computer and I go to the commotion, and I notice that my preceptor for tonight passed out. Yup, she's laying back in a chair like this, not knowing what's going on, not answering questions, eyes closed, whatever, not looking good at all. So she is going down to the ER. You know what that means for me? I'm stranded. There's no other nurse that's experienced on this floor to help me tonight, so I'm kind of just gonna be on my own. Yep, I'll let you know how that goes. But I don't want to talk too much about this preceptor situation because it's not fair to them. It's all this HIPAA stuff once again, but that just sucks. I feel really bad. You never want to pass out when you're at work. At work, you're supposed to be safe. You're supposed to feel healthy. If you're passing out at work, something's definitely wrong. You got to take some time off to improve your health. So I hope she's gonna be okay. And I'm just gonna have to move forward, do my own thing. There's patients that need to be taken care of. I gotta forget about that and just focus on my thing, especially since I'm pretty much on my own now. Well, I'm not that much on my own. The reason I say that is because the only couple other nurses on the floor are a float nurse, a nurse straight off orientation, and then a travel nurse. So nobody is really experienced to the floor. However, they put me with the float nurse because the float nurse has been in the hospital the longest, or the oldest working nurse. So they put me with her. She's a very nice lady. I basically have to care about my 3 patients while she handles the charge nurse role in her patients. But the patients I have are pretty easy. The only real thing that's kind of weird that happens tonight is one of the bed alarms goes off down the hall. So I sprint down there and I see this patient sitting naked on their bed, pee all over the floor. So I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna have to clean this up. However, this guy starts yelling at me. He's super pissed off. He's saying, get the heck out of here. I gotta get out of here. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, sir, calm down. You just peed on the floor. Are you okay? And he's like, stop asking me if you're all right. Just get the hell out of here. And I get back at him and I say, well, I can't leave. I just gotta make sure you're safe. You're about to fall out of bed. And he starts yelling some more. The other nurse comes in the room. He starts yelling at me. He's like, you think you're so cool, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm cool for trying to help you. And then he's like, I don't need your help. You're just a loser. And I'm like, oh, I'm not a loser. I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to be a winner for you. And that just gets him way more angry. And I don't get the message that I'm supposed to stop reacting. At that point, the other nurse looks at me with a lot of experience and she says, all right, just sit down over there for a second. I'll handle it. And this guy, he keeps staring at me. He's very pissed off. He keeps staring at me like he's going to punch me in the face. He's old though, so he's not going to do it. This other nurse tries to get his attention off me and on her. And she tries to calm him down, but it doesn't work. So eventually I think, you know what? I'm just gonna leave the room. I leave the room, I go back to the nursing station to work on some documentation. The nurse stays in there. I think she cleans him up, does her thing. She's in there for 25 minutes. She eventually comes out and she says, yeah, that guy did not like you. So I'm starting to think, damn, how can this guy not like me? Was it my approach? Was it my first impression? I have no idea what was going on. I'm trying to replay the thing in my head, and all I can really think of is, as soon as I entered the room, I didn't turn the light on. It was super dark. He couldn't make out who I was. And I was standing there like a big presence. I'm a fairly tall guy, almost 6 feet tall, and pretty, wide compared to these women. So maybe he saw me as a threat. And with my deep voice and, aggressive tone, maybe, He thought of me as a threat and didn't want to back down because men, they want to be alphas all the time, no matter how vulnerable they are. So he saw me as a threat and wanted to like push me away. So he felt more comfortable with the woman, I guess. I started to talk to the nurse about this and asked her like how to handle that situation in the future. And she said that when a patient starts to say unreasonable, aggressive things, just don't react. That's what they feed off of, a reaction. So more of the story here is, if a patient starts to curse at you, get aggressive with you, don't react. Don't let them get a rise out of your reaction. You just gotta sit there with a stone cold face and let them do their thing. Let them waste their energy on ranting, raving, being aggressive, and you just absorb it. You get into Zen mode, in one ear, out the other. Just let it happen. You just have to stay in put though to make sure they're safe. So just stand there, sit down, do what you gotta do. If they do get violent, you can call security, but don't react for now. And I guess that makes sense. In arguments, people try to like go back and forth with each other and it just doesn't help at all. The best thing to do is not react, just be calm. So that's what you gotta do with patients, I guess. I learned my lesson there. If a patient gets rowdy, don't react. If they start to say mean things to you, they call you a loser, a B word, an F word, just like don't react. And they'll wear themselves out, and eventually they'll have to get back in bed, they'll accept the fact that you gotta help them. These patients are sick, they don't have the greatest energy in the world. They're gonna spend a couple minutes yelling, and then after a while, they're gonna get sick of it, they're gonna get tired. So, at that point, you step in and you do your thing. I think it was great for this to happen with this nurse that I was working with, because this nurse was very holistic. She told me like she's a very self-aware person, she's very positive, she doesn't like negativity get to her. She seems to do like meditation or whatever, so she's very like in self-control. And she was able to handle that situation very well. Other than that, nothing crazy really happened tonight. I'm glad because I didn't have my normal preceptor. When I came off the shift, I had to talk to my manager, let them know what happened with my preceptor, and they said, all right, they're gonna have to figure out another preceptor situation, maybe change my schedule. And I said, oh, no. You're not gonna change my schedule for this week or next week. I already have stuff planned. You're just gonna have to figure it out, okay? I'm gonna come in on the days that I was scheduled for. I'll just work with somebody who's there as long as they're okay with it. And they said, all right, bet. So it's just kind of a wrench in this whole orientation process. I want to get bumped up to 4 patients. I don't know if it's going to happen soon, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted. All I did after this was go home to sleep, and then what's going to happen tomorrow. No hospital tomorrow. I'm going to be chilling tomorrow, doing some book stuff. Till then, peace.